What's up, everybody? So today I'm at Mooresville Ford taking a look at the all-new 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor. I just finished filming the full review video, going over the inside and out just to look at it. Now we're actually going to get it out on the roads, do a road test review. Now I do have to apologize, we will not be jumping any ramps or hitting any crazy off-road trails with it, but it'll be a good opportunity to check it out on the streets. Alright, so we are now in the Raptor. We'll go ahead, put my foot on the brake, start it up, push button start of course. Just go ahead and pop it right into drive. And we'll just get off the front of the dealership. So just to go over a few of the stats of the new Raptor, they have ditched the V8 engine. It now has an EcoBoost 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. The power, horsepower and torque has gone up significantly. Horsepower is now 450 and the torque is 510. So it should be a pretty quick truck, 0 to 60. Car and driver saying it's in the low 6 seconds, but John Hennessy has tested it in the low 5 seconds. So either way, for a pretty big truck, that's pretty quick. And then very new for Ford, this is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now I've only driven up to a 7-speed, so I have no idea how that is going to work with 10 different gears. It does have very large aluminum paddle shifters on the steering wheel, so that'll be pretty interesting to check out. Alright, so setting off now. I have my cooled seat on. It is actually pretty toasty out today. Just giving it a little bit of gas. So far it doesn't feel like there's too many gears. I'm up to 5th gear right now. And like I discussed in the full review, the top 3 gears are actually more of a cruising overdrive gear, so you're really going to be using the 1st through 7th gear more than the 10th and 9th gear and everything. So far, the road comfort is really good. It has a off-road suspension, obviously, 3-inch Fox Racing shocks all around with about 13 inches of travel. Very good and capable off-road suspension setup. When you're out on the road, it's really comfortable. You're not really feeling any of the bumps. It just kind of glides over everything. Of course, this truck is built to do some jumping and some pretty heavy off-roading. So very comfortable out on the road. The visibility is really awesome. I love looking out of the front. You can see those huge heat extraction vents in the center of the hood. Very cool look. You don't really get that in many trucks. Looking over your left and right shoulder, nothing weird about that at all. Very good visibility. And the left and right mirrors do a great job of letting you know what's around. And then at slow speeds in the parking lot, you can press the camera button and get a really good 360 view of all the ground around the vehicle. So now to check out a little bit of the acceleration. Wow, so barely giving it throttle. It's a brand new truck, obviously, but giving a little bit of gas, you can feel that torque. It's got a lot of power down low. I don't think I went even over 4,000 RPM. Definitely a pretty quick truck. It's very responsive. I could imagine once it's fully broken in, stepping on it, it's going to take off for sure. And with this kind of gearbox, with the higher overdrive gears, when you're on the highway, you can get a little bit better gas mileage than you would in just your normal 6-speed automatic. And then coming into a little bit of a sharp turn. Actually, not too much body roll, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be a little bit more all over the road, but it seems pretty planted. Has a good sound to it. You can hear the engine rumbling a little bit. Just an automatic, giving it a little bit of gas right up to speed. I'm actually in 8th gear already, going about 50, which actually 9th gear now. That's kind of weird to see. But you don't really feel it shift. It just kind of drives like normal, and I feel like with all these gears, it just optimizes the power band. So that's pretty cool to see nowadays. Getting these higher gear transmissions, just how it's more efficient and more effective for performance and of course for fuel economy. And going back on the comfort of driving this truck, I really like this full panoramic roof. Everything's open right now, so it's very open in here. There's a lot of light coming in, very roomy. And when I was checking out the rear seats earlier, there's a lot of space back there. You would expect that kind of space in like a CrewMax Tundra, but this one even being a little bit smaller. So much room back there, great headroom and great leg room. Definitely could be a great truck to just go cruising in with the family or some off-road adventure, maybe with the dirt bikes in the bed or something like that. So one thing I'm finding with a lot of the new Fords, the quality is really good. Everything that I'm touching in the car feels like it's a high quality material. The really nice perforated leathers on the steering wheel, very soft feeling, great look to it as well. The paddle shifters are actually aluminum, they're not just plastic thrown on there. Very responsive when you hit it, it's a solid feel, it's not just a cheap little button. door panel has some nice plastics on it, nice leathers as well. The seats are probably one of my favorite things with the perforated leather in the center. You also get Raptor embroidered up top. The dashboard has a really cool look to it, cool contours with stitching on it, very nicely laid out, and I think it's a pretty ergonomic vehicle to drive. Buttons are in the right place. I know a lot of newer cars nowadays with so much technology in them, it's kind of too much buttons and you're not really going to use half of it. But the whole infotainment setup where the climate control system is pretty easy to use. You can use the climate control on the screen, which I prefer, and you can also use it with the actual buttons. So it gives you a lot of versatility of how you want to use the vehicle. So overall, I would say it's really comfortable to drive, comfortable to use, and just it's an easy truck to use. And another cool thing with the car, which I've just learned, you can hit the voice button.
Please say a command.
Set temperature 65 degrees.
Did you say 65 degrees?
Yes.
Setting temperature to 65 degrees.
Very cool and innovative. You don't have to worry about fiddling with a button, especially if you're in big traffic. Just press the one button, tell the car what to do. So that is pretty neat to check out. And the voice commands also work for your navigation and radio station. And then in a hardcore off-road truck that this is, it actually has a lot of these safety features that we're kind of seeing standard now in many vehicles. You have your lane keeping assist, blind spot alert, whole list of them on the dash. Kind of hard to read them all when I'm driving, but many different safety features, collision warning, rear cross traffic alert. It also has the adaptive cruise control. So for a hardcore truck, it's luxurious, it's comfortable, but then I'm sure once you hit the dunes or the trails, you can just obliterate the competition out on the trails. And then on the center display on the dash, you can actually go to your different off-road status, power distribution, your towing settings, all sorts of different performance settings. And then to change your four-wheel drive, it's just a dial over here, but then certain modes that you change on the center will also put it into four-wheel drive or what it needs to be. So let's do another little acceleration. I like the shifts. You can actually feel them when upshifting. It kind of hits you a little bit to make you know that you're in something that you're shifting. It's not just one of the gimmicky shiftable automatics to where you shift and it'll kind of do whatever it wants. It seems like I'm having full control. As I downshift, the tack changes, so it's truly letting me shift, and I really like the paddles. That's something you don't see in a pickup truck, so that's pretty neat. And then the steering wheel looks really cool with the red on the top. So overall, it's a pretty sweet truck, just cruising around town. Obviously, we're not hitting the trails, shredding up some type of off-road adventure, but for a road car, just cruising, which you're going to be doing that probably 80% of the time anyway. It's comfortable, it's really good to see out of. I'm high up, so I feel like I'm in something big. It's not just another little pickup truck. So I could definitely see driving this as your daily. And also on the steering wheel, you have a different mode selection. When you scroll through it, you have your different terrain modes. There's normal, sport, weather, and it'll actually shift into four-wheel drive when you're changing modes. So actually, let's go back to just normal street mode. But that's pretty neat. You also have your steering feel. You have a normal, a sport, and then a comfort as well. Makes it a little bit softer and easier to steer. And that's kind of things you're finding in sports cars. So I guess it's almost safe to say that the Raptor is a sports truck. It's got the sports car features with terrain selectability and steering feel like you would find in a sports car with different suspension setups and steering feels, but it's designed for the off-road capable vehicle. So the Ford Raptor, that is very cool what it has to offer. It's like the top of the line truck, but if you're a sports car enthusiast, you would want this because it's like a sports car, just it can go off-road and obliterate anything that isn't pavement. And even on pavement, it's pretty comfortable. Well, that about sums up the quick road test with the Ford Raptor. It's really cool and it's exceeded my expectations. I'm just cruising on the road, obviously, nothing crazy. But the kind of technology it has in it for safety, it's got every safety feature you could imagine as far as lane keeping assist and all those kind of things. Slow speed, you can turn the camera on and see exactly where the vehicle is. 360 camera is pretty awesome to have, especially if there are any little blind spots. Very cool being in the driver's seat. I love the view. I can't get over seeing that hood. It looks so unique, and you just don't see trucks like that nowadays. And then the off-road capabilities, that is what you're really buying with this truck. All sorts of different modes, too many to even name, and I forgot probably half of them already, but so many different things you can do. And as I slow down, I can actually change it into a rock crawl mode. It'll put it into four-wheel low and everything. So that is just very awesome to have in a truck. Now I'm just back in normal mode to cruise. But overall, Ford Raptor, wow, what a cool truck just cruising on the roads. I hope to see people taking these out on the dirt, getting them dirty, jumping some ramps, doing some crazy things with these things. But either way, it's very cool to check out one on the road, just drive it around. Huge thank you once again to Mooresville Ford for letting me come down here, do a full review and test drive the truck. Pretty awesome, so definitely check out their website in the description below. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to give us a high five, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next video.